Welcome everybody to the Wrestle Dream Project. My name is Dro,
And I'm Jimmy.
and this YouTube channel is all about one thing, wrestling, and what it means to us, to the world, and hopefully to you and your family.
Please like, comment, subscribe as you join us on this journey to achieve greatness and spread the word of pro wrestling. We're starting things off with the first match of the night, the Women's Elimination Chamber. And wow, what a spectacle. Dro, Jade Cargill, she's back.
Not only is she back, I thought it was very interesting how, one, she was wearing all black gear that is not synonymous to her character.
No, not at all.
As opposed to Bianca Belair and Naomi all wearing white.
No, for sure.
I thought that contrast,
change, yeah.
that contrast added much more to it. Her return was amazing.
It was a great return.
I thought it was great presentation of who she was. Her walking towards Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan absolutely sold her facial expressions to the max.
Yeah, and honestly, we all knew it wasn't Liv Morgan.
It
It wasn't.
It was a setup for Liv and Raquel.
It was, no, without a doubt. And when you see the video, they're just walking by. That was set on purpose.
Yeah. And you look at Naomi, her subtle look back at Bianca
That is true. That is another thing that happened.
was like, if you knew you didn't attack Jade, why would you look back at your tag team partner like you're not surprised she's back? You should be happy.
Right.
That's your tag team partner. They were a trio at one point.
They were a trio at one point.
Why wouldn't you want that to be the catalyst of her attacking Liv Morgan and helping Naomi or Bianca to win, as opposed to immediately attacking Naomi? Jade Cargill knows something that the WWE Universe does not know. And that's what I love most about this presentation, because after she slams her neck, Naomi's neck, on the chamber door, she walks away. No words spoken. Of course, she beat her up right in front of Bianca Belair's pod, but there was no words said in between Bianca and Jade, and I thought that was golden going into WrestleMania season.
No, it's great. And honestly, when you mentioned that look back, could it be that maybe they were working together this whole time, and maybe Jade is just waiting probably for Friday Night SmackDown next week or this upcoming week to possibly expose the truth of what happened?
The final two were Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair. I don't mind that at all. I was very upset because I believed that Alexa Bliss was at least going to make final two, and she lost via roll-up to Liv Morgan, right?
She did.
And I loved Alexa's demeanor going into the pod, during Jade Cargill's attack, up until her pod gets released, and she has like that stoic look that she had when she was with Bray Wyatt a couple years ago. And that's what made me believe that she was going to get that number one spot.
I thought so as well. Maybe she was going to go on and main event WrestleMania perhaps, but it wasn't meant to be. Hopefully, I'm hoping they have a story for her waiting. You know, if it has to be with the Wyatt Six, it has to be with the Wyatt Six. But hopefully, with everything going on and what's transpiring on SmackDown right now, she fits
that's definitely inevitable.
It's inevitable, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can't have the Wyatt Six without the literal sister Abigail. Little sister of Bray Wyatt, you know?
Yeah.
I think that will make very good TV. However, I don't think that happens until maybe around SummerSlam, which I don't mind.
Yeah, we got to build up to it.
Of course, Alexa Bliss is coming back from her pregnancy, her marriage. Congratulations to her. And at this point, we have to look at Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair going forward. Liv Morgan is one half of the women's tag team champions. What does that mean for her after she lost to Bianca as the final two?
Well, I'm guessing now she goes back to Raquel and moves forward with, well, I'm hoping defending those tag team titles, because I'm really interested to see how they work as a team together with the titles. And yeah, and from then on, we set that aside. We have our main event, which could either be Io Sky or Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. But with the final face-off in the end, that was a nice little touch right there to close things off.
I would not mind a triple threat match.
That'd be perfect.
That way, I mean, at least in my view, you can have Jade Cargill actually cost her the title without, actually burying her, or at least, taking her off TV.
That is true, without burying her.
Because Io Sky and Rhea Ripley are always going to have bangers. There's no way they don't have a banger at Mania if it's just them two. Them moving it to either Netflix or the USA Network just kind of shows that they either have a big plan for Mania, or that was the plan all along. Because you look at Saturday night's main event with Jay and Gunther, nobody expected Jay to win the Rumble, and now they're in the main event of WrestleMania.
It's crazy. It's all building up.
Our second match of the card is Trish Stratus in her hometown of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, teaming up with Tiffany Stratton against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. I liked the match. I don't understand why Trish did not pin either Nia Jax or Candice LeRae. I understand that, Tiffany is the champion and you want her to get as many pins leading up to WrestleMania. However, Trish did say this was the last time she'd be performing in Toronto. So
it's a nice little treat for Canadians and people in Toronto in attendance.
Yes, of course it is.
But story-wise,
it didn't add to anything.
It doesn't lead or add to anything. And
you have Tiffany Stratton, who pinned Nia Jax, which she has before, to win the title after the cash-in. But doing it in a tag team match is different.
It's a little different.
I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just different. I'm looking forward to seeing, of course, Tiffany is going against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, and I'm looking forward to seeing that match. However, I am looking forward to seeing what happens with Nia Jax.
Yeah, I wonder where she goes from here. We'll see. Maybe her and Candice LeRae are going to challenge for the women's tag team titles now.
Because
could be possible now.
Yeah.
I mean, Nia's had her time with the title, right? Now it's Tiffy time. And so now Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, they seem like they're on the same page. So why not set them aside for their own
And I think Candice is long overdue for a title.
Yeah.
Long overdue.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
I mean, that's Mrs. Wrestling right there. Yeah. That's Mrs. Wrestling.
But overall, good match, enjoyable, a treat for Canadians in attendance.
Did not hate it.
At all. And Trish Stratus, without a doubt. Always perfection.
All-timer.
Amazing, without a doubt.
All-timer. She's a Hall of Famer for a reason.
Yeah, and it's always an honor to see her perform as well as hit a Stratisfaction. Not to mention the ultimate Stratisfaction off the turnbuckle.
Oh, yeah.
That was a nice little finish. And then the teamwork right there with the world's prettiest moonsault, or the prettiest moonsault. Amazing. Next up, we have what I believe is the banger of the night. We have Canada's Darlings. We have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in an unsanctioned match. And at first, I was wondering, what do you mean unsanctioned? Like, the company's not sponsoring it? They're not doing this in a WWE ring? Joe, I think you know this better than me. What was this?
This was, by all means, an absolute classic. When it comes to unsanctioned matches in WWE, a lot of them have to do with former best friends. You look at Triple H against Shawn Michaels in 2003. You look at Tommaso Ciampa against Johnny Gargano in NXT a couple years ago. It involves a lot of trust in between the two competitors. Unsanctioned really means if any of you get any type of career-ending injury, we are not liable to you. You cannot sue us. And if you look closely, the referee was wearing just a black shirt, black gloves, because he knew blood was coming, or at least that's what I expected. And you look at the turnbuckles, and all the WWE logos are covered up. I think that little detail really sells that, like, these two guys love each other, but they're also even better enemies. I had the honor of watching Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in Washington, D.C., Battleground 2016. I saw a lot of callbacks to that. The main difference was I knew going into this match that this was not going to be a technical masterclass. This was just going to be two guys throwing chairs at each other's faces. And if you think about it, that's really what it was. If you take every single weapon that they used it to perfection. They had
without a doubt
the double table that they had set up outside of the ring, and you have Kevin Owens pushing Sami Zayn to do a front flip onto the double stack.
It was perfectly planned and set aside. It wasn't just two Canadian gentlemen beating each other.
These were Canadian foes just trying to prove that I can kick your ass better than you can kick mine.
No, it's true. It's amazing. And Joe, they even went into the crowd. They took it to the crowd, and it was great. You know, fans in attendance were in for a treat. Like, it was so many things were going on. One of my favorite parts was when we finally get to the first table, and there's just a bunch of cups and beers on the table. Like, wow.
Oh yeah,
very Canadian. Just tossing that, and two blue thunder bombs, back to back.
Yes,
insane.
That was great.
Yeah.
And also, what I loved about the way they know how to go back and forth was a small instance. It was a callback to NXT where Kevin Owens first turned on Sami Zayn with the powerbomb onto the apron, the outside apron, and he hits it once. He goes for a second time, and he doesn't have much power behind it. But Sami, knowing exactly what just happened, reaches up for the rope, and Sami, he's always the underdog. He's always going down with a fight.
It's his whole
First
story.
thing he did is just start wailing on him. I thought that was a great pickup on a light botch, only to get powerbombed again onto the apron, which I mean, even before then, you had a chair wrapped around his neck, going into the ring post over and over. I knew going into this that Kevin Owens had to win.
It was time. Kevin has eaten so many pins from Cody Rhodes. Like, you can only take so many losses. But it was time for him to get a W. And Sami eating a pin isn't going to hurt his story at all. I think maybe from here we separate Sami. He maybe goes off and does something with Karrion Kross. We'll see what happens on Monday Night Raw regarding that. But now this leads up to the next part and what I believe is the WrestleMania match that we've called.
Yes.
The Viper is back.
The Viper is back.
Oh,
but before you continue, I would like to mention the barbed wire steel chair.
Oh, yeah. No,
they did a little spot with the blue thunder bomb, and the way Kevin Owens landed, I had the same instinct. I was like the chair did not slip. No. He just stayed there, and then he fell back onto it. I thought that was perfect.
He took one in
That's
the back
exactly
and one in the face.
Oh yeah, the drop toe hold. Yes, that was so great with the great use of the steel barbed wire chair.
Yeah.
I thought that was amazing. And then after the match, you have Kevin Owens ripping off the mat to reveal the concrete. And at first I was like, there's no way he's gonna pull a Gargano and Ciampa kind of thing. And I thought about it. I was like, who could come out? The Viper is back,
and it was time.
And when he came out, did you notice what I noticed?
No, what'd you notice?
2009. His head shaved, clean, and he was just looking mean, like he wanted blood. And it shows because
in kayfabe, he almost ended his career. Kevin Owens almost ended Randy Orton's career.
He could have broken his neck, ended his career. He comes back and says, "You know what? Eye for an eye." He picks up the chair. He's about to go for it and realizes, I have something much better. Throws away the chair. The crowd erupts. The Toronto crowd knew exactly what the world wanted. He backs up and he does this typical
he's getting ready. He's getting pumped up. Yeah.
On the way to the punt, he gets stopped by Jason Jordan, Shane Helms, and the rest of the
all the WWE officials. Yeah.
Yep, all the officials. Yeah. And I thought it was a good tease.
It was. I like it.
I believe, like you said, setting up that WrestleMania match between Randy Orton and Kevin Owens.
It's setting it up, yeah.
I think it should be a no disqualification.
It should. And with things that's going to happen as we move forward into April with Mania, I think we'll see that it's going to call for a type of sanction. No, not a sanction, but a type of
match.
A stipulation. There has to be a stipulation added to this match.
Yes.
And because this has to be it. In WrestleMania, they have to let everything out, blow off the steam with everything that happened. And here we are, the final match of the night. What I've been waiting for, what you've been waiting for, what all of the WWE Universe has been waiting for, the Men's Elimination Chamber.
5 world champions and 1 Maverick. Shout out Michael Cole. That was a great call, and I did not pick up on it until I saw all 5 world champions and the Maverick inside of that steel abundance of steel, abundance of chaos.
Quoting someone, the Devil's Playground.
The Devil's Playground. I love that.
Wow. Just insane. Got to give it up to Logan Paul. Not the biggest Logan Paul fan, but the man is athletically gifted, and he's quite the character. Coming out with the American flag, basically to incite, some emotions out of Canadians, especially with the ongoing tension between the United States and Canada. He knew what he was doing.
Oh,
he
of
knew what
course.
he was doing coming in.
He would have done much worse in other countries. Trust me.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, I can name 2 other countries he's done much worse.
Okay, yeah, that's a story for another time.
So Logan Paul comes out first, followed by Damian Priest, CM Punk, Cena, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre start out the match, and it starts out very quickly. In the first 15 seconds, you see 2 attempted finishers.
Yeah.
And that kind of set the tone.
It did. And my favorite part with that start was CM Punk literally instigating the entire thing, saying, hey, hit him harder, or do worse things to him. And, it was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
I could not believe what I was seeing, but it was great. It was very entertaining.
It was.
I was on the edge of my seat.
I think Logan Paul had a similar performance to Roxanne Perez.
Yeah.
They came in hot. They came in firing.
This chamber, the participants, everyone adding their own special moves,
they all had their own special moveset that worked so well.
Perfectly.
For example, the Damian Priest taking a play out of the Dead Man's Playbook, going old school. But instead of chopping down the arm, he went with the Hurricanrana on the outside.
Amazing. Yeah, Damian Priest does not get enough credit.
He
amazing.
Is, 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, and he does that.
And he's able to do that onto the outside of the ring. That was amazing. We also had Cena coming out the gate.
It was time.
I mean, I didn't expect him to come out that early.
Honestly, I was waiting for him to come out last. That's what I figured, but no.
But no, he came out and as Super Cena does, hitting 2 AAs back to back and just straight up being Super Cena.
Super Cena, yeah.
Something we all grew up on.
9-10-year-old me was excited just seeing all that.
I was happy too for
the moment he does the stance in the middle, raises his hand. 9-10-year-old me is ecstatic, wow.
9 and 10-year-old me was like, oh, here he goes again.
Here he goes again. You gotta love it and respect it.
But I was happy because the last entrant was CM Punk. The best in the world.
The best in the world. And we got that callback. That is a callback right there for the rivalry years ago. Wow. And it's crazy how they were all friends and everything. They showed signs of respect. I love with everything they've been through on their journey.
Especially after CM Punk had left the business.
Yeah.
They still had kind words for each other.
It's a beautiful thing to see.
And the little small thing, they had their first face-off was interrupted by Seth Rollins and I believe Drew McIntyre, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong. But their second face-off was straight up here we go. Here's what we've been waiting for since probably after, I think it was around the time CM Punk lost to The Rock for the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
I wanted to see that face-off one more time.
It had to happen.
We didn't get it. Decades later, literally a decade and a couple years later.
Big 2025. We got it. Final 2. CM Punk versus John Cena. And it was insane. And before that...
Let's rewind a little bit. We have
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins getting hit with the GTS, going into the attitude adjustment. CM Punk picks up the pin.
Them working together was one of the best things that
I have ever
that
seen.
night. Yeah.
Honestly, that I've ever seen. I've wanted them to be a tag team for so long.
And this is a little sign of it, or a little presentation.
Or
of it.
a little glimpse of what they're able to do
together. And you can see it was amazing.
Oh, I thought it was more than amazing. I thought it was the best thing in the world.
No, it was. was excited.
That was amazing.
That's where then after they take out Seth Rollins together, and then we finally get
The final two.
The final two. But then once things are happening around, CM Punk gets under the ropes.
He's trying to kick away Cena from doing the STF.
Yeah.
And then he does kick him away. He turns onto his belly on the bottom rope. And who do we forget about? Seth freaking Rollins.
The
coming
architect.
out of nowhere and curb stomping him right on the outside. Immediately leaving, locking the gate. Then what happens?
The Revolutionary knew what he was doing. And his hatred for CM Punk was so strong. Any opportunity he got to try to stop CM Punk from main event of WrestleMania, from CM Punk gaining something in his career, his mission is still onward, and he's succeeding at any chance he gets. But after we got there, that happened, and Seth Rollins leaves. We have John Cena in the submission until CM Punk eventually passes out.
Yes.
And John Cena wins. Cody comes to the ring, meets Cena, his WrestleMania opponent, and wow, what a nice face-off. And then that leads into what we've been waiting for since last week. What is
Cody's answer?
What is Cody's answer? Will he sell his soul, or will he not?
So we have Cody Rhodes, The Rock, John Cena,
And Travis Scott for some
and
reason.
for some reason Travis Scott is in there.
I'm gonna guess he's the Dennis Rodman of the group.
Oh yeah,
Little nudge to the NWO days.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes, he basically tells Rock to go F himself.
I loved it.
No bleeping, just pure hatred. As soon as he said that, you can see John Cena in the back doing his typical let's go,
yeah.
And I was just like, there's no way.
Right.
Like, there's no way. Until we get that hug.
That hug, that face.
I haven't seen that face since
That face looked like death. Like, John Cena, the expression is like, oh my
It's always just like the
Now it's
happy-go-lucky guy, and now it's just straight
literally
face.
straight face after The Rock.
Ooh.
That was like 2.
I think, yeah, he went 2.
2. Turns around.
Kick
Kicks him in that part.
him in the nads.
And wow.
That was not only shocking.
Everything on this shirt, hustle, loyalty, and respect, all thrown out the window after what happened yesterday. I couldn't believe it. 9, 10-year-old me was in distraught, but it had to happen.
It had to
It
happen.
had to happen. It was time. During Vince's time, they didn't want to pull the trigger, given the Make-A-Wish, given the merchandise, and everything that went along
He
with
was
Cena.
the top guy.
He was
Why
the
would
top
you
guy.
give up your babyface like that?
That is true. That is true.
But now they have Cody.
Now they have Cody, and so it's possible. And Cena's only here for...
And the reason I didn't think he was going to turn was because I believe that face versus face in the Mania main event was going to be just as big.
Right.
You didn't need a heel.
It could have.
You didn't need a heel. You have the franchise, John Cena.
John Cena.
Going against Cody, the face of the company currently.
Right.
Roman Reigns is gone.
For now.
And I think that face versus face in the main event of WrestleMania could work. But them pulling that trigger at Elimination Chamber made it
perfect.
Saved it.
It saved it. Now it was sad because no more Make-A-Wish, at least for a while, until he changes his mind back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no.
So I saw these tweets.
The videos before where he actually did a couple Make-A-Wishes. Hey, at least those kids can say that, hey, I was with John Cena before he turned heel.
Before he did it.
And it was crazy. I just want to know where this goes from here. So now, John Cena, as The Rock said, he's off to Africa to shoot another movie. So now we'll hear from Cody, I'm guessing, next week. Or Monday Night Raw, I'm hoping. What happens. And I can't believe it. John Cena's a heel now. We didn't think it was possible.
We fantasized
We fantasized it for years.
We fantasized his final run. He has to do it as a heel. But to go under the corporate wing of The Rock, somebody he main evented WrestleMania with back to back. He had a 3.5 year long feud with him. Didn't expect that.
There's certain things in life that are certain without a doubt. It's death, taxes, and John Cena never turning heel. That was insane. I could not believe what I saw. And no, you're right. Like he did what the man on your shirt did.
Yep.
He did what the man on your shirt did.
Yep. He
And-
did it.
yeah.
He sold his soul to the guy that was gonna give him it all.
And the crazy thing is, we weren't around for the NWO, right? We weren't around for Hulk Hogan making the change.
Right.
I was still a kid, even more of a kid, when Steve Austin crossed over. Now, I'm 25 years old, and John Cena turned heel within my lifetime. It's insane.
It's crazy because
Yeah.
I did see some tweets. It was like, oh, he's been heel before. I was like, yeah, but he's never turned heel.
No, he's never had.
You've been a heel before.
He never has. He's never had.
But he's turned face and stayed face for what?
majority
20?
of his career, literally.
At least 20 years now.
Yeah.
Because he turned face in 2005 against JBL at WrestleMania 21.
Yeah.
And now we're going into WrestleMania 41.
Yeah.
And now he's turning heel.
If you think about
That's
it,
the difference.
Bray Wyatt was right this whole time.
Yeah.
Bray was right this whole time.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on our first video. We greatly appreciate your support and viewership, and we hope to see you on the next one. And once again, thank you for joining us on this journey that we call pro wrestling.